Hey everyone, welcome back to the B-Movie Bunker. Today we're going back to 1980 to look at Terry Marcell's Hawk the Slayer. This is one of the iconic fantasy films from that time period. We have the story of Hawk, or Hawk the Slayer, battling his evil brother Vultan, played by Jack Palance. And I'm not talking about Vultan, the wing guy from the Flash Gordon movies. That'd be Brian Blessed. Totally different films. Jack Palance chews up every scene he's in. He does what I expect from Jack Palance. He overacts. He takes one-syllable words and turns them into 12 syllables and can just stretch those things out. Hawk is played by John Terry, who you probably will recognize. He's done tons of stuff. Most notably, he is Christian Shepherd from the series Lost. A couple other side characters. You have Patricia Quinn playing the Sorceress. She went on to fame as Magenta in Rocky Horror Picture Show. This was, it has a very Dungeons and Dragons feel to it. You've got the party that Hawk recruits, where there's himself, as you know, as the mighty hero, the warrior, and he recruits a dwarf, and he recruits an elf, and a giant. The giant's just a really kind of tall guy, and another little dude who has to help rescue this, abbess, I can't remember, but basically, you know, a high-ranking nun, that Vultan has captured. Now, Vultan, you get a little bit of history between Vultan and Hawk, and what motivates Hawk against Vultan. You really get no backstory on anyone else. It's very cardboard cutout as far as the characters go, which fits kind of that style of as I said, like a Dungeons and Dragons movie, where there's not a lot of background on all these other side people. You have the hero, you have the villain, and you have the NPCs, as they are, the non-player characters. I like this movie. I mean, yeah, it's cheesy, it's corny. The music is lots of synthesizer music, and it's very 1980s and it's very dated. But I think the music actually fits well with the movie. Effects, I mean, you have to take into account, this is a low-budget movie from the 80s, so the effects are not that brilliant. And the story is very point A to point, you know, B, C, D. So, I mean, it has a, this is what has to happen, and then this is what happens. So it has that, you know, it gets from point A to point D or whatever it's going to be at the end. It is cheesy, it is schmaltzy, it is goofy, it is at times laughable, but it's still a fun movie if you are into that fantasy stuff at all, and especially if you were a role player like I was and still am. This is the type of movie. On a scale of 1 to 10, I mean, you can tell he drew, you know, from other films. I mean, it's a fistful of swords, or, you know, for a few swords more, or something like. It's very spaghetti western like, but it's fantasy. And I have to add, I love the fact that with the low budget, obviously they couldn't afford massive sets. There are many scenes in this, and it's part of a drinking game for Hawk the Slayer. So you take a drink every time you see what is not actual scenery, but it is actually a matte painting. It is the background in so many shots is just a painting, and I mean, low budget, it's fine, you know, and that's kind of, it's as I said, fits with the whole feel of, you know, a Dungeons and Dragons type movie. And this is really probably one of the first Dungeons and Dragons-esque type movies. So I would highly recommend to everyone, if you like fantasy at all, check this one out. And just take in mind when it was made and the type of budget they worked with. I enjoy this one. This is one that I go back and revisit every couple of years. It's one of those things from my youth that I remember fondly, and I think it holds up. And I know some of you say, well, you bash other movies, you bash Deathstalker for not holding up, you bash Damnation Alley for not holding up. Yeah, I do, because some films look like they're very lazily put together, and there's just a Deathstalker is nothing about this exploitation part of it, and Damnation Alley is just sloppy in general. So this one, it looked like there was at least a little bit of care put into it. Yes, the acting is bad, it's cheesy, but you know what? It's still fun. I have fun, and for me, a big part of me is if I can have fun. If I can have fun, I can forgive a lot of stuff. So that's all I have for this one. Till next time, why don't you all stay safe out there in the wasteland, folks.